Hi guys, Emma from Yellow Brick Roads here, helping you build your confidence whilst I am building my own. So happy Tuesday everybody, even though the weather's a bit drizzly and a bit cold and a bit wet here today in Devon. The sun always shines on the righteous, but not today, unfortunately. So I just wanted to come on. I've been talking the last few weeks about happiness habits. And things that we can do that make us feel better. There's so much uncertainty that's going on in the world at the moment. We're sort of told how we should be living our life. And that makes us feel very anxious. And being a mum is definitely something, I think, that creates that feeling, especially for me more so. So the happiness habit I want to talk to you about today, I want to align with being a parent, obviously in my case being a mum. So I don't know about you, but I'm a mum and I'm a working mum, and I struggle with the feeling of guilt. So am I spending, and I question this every single day, am I spending too much time in my business and in my job, in what I'm doing as a working mum, and not enough time with my children? But I also have friends that I speak to who are stay-at-home mums. And they struggle with the feeling of being judged by other people because they're stay at home, whether they're able for that or not with regards to finances, they feel like they're being judged. And I feel like as a parent, especially as a mum, we just beat ourselves up so much. And it's like we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. So I want to align this happiness habit, with being a parent and being a mum. So I've put here, wherever your focus goes is where your energy flows. Now, I know that's like a pretty, well-known saying, but it is very true. So when you focus on something enough, and I know this definitely happens with me and it happens with everybody, whether you see it or not, you bring more of that into your life. If you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling anxious for the things that you're not doing, you start to feel more of that. You get sort of stuck into a place where you can't get out of it. Now, there's a formula that I revert back to all of the time where if I'm not in a great place, it helps me sort of rethink and get myself into a place that is is the place where I want to be. And that is thoughts to feelings to actions to results. And how that I sum that up is your thoughts, what you're thinking, and I know I've spoke about this before, but what you're thinking creates a feeling, whether that's of anxiety, overwhelm, excitement, whatever. What you're thinking creates a feeling, and dependent on how you feel, you're going to act in a certain way. So if you're feeling scared and anxious and overwhelmed, there's a good chance that you might not do anything. I'm not saying you don't, but you might not. Whereas if you're excited and you're happy, there's more of a chance of you taking action. Now, dependent on how you act, depends on the results that you're going to get. So it's very simple, and it's a great sort of formula to work to. So your thoughts create your feelings create your actions, and your actions create your results. So in light of this, as a parent, me being a mum, if I'm focusing on feeling overwhelmed, if I'm focusing on feeling guilty, if I'm focusing on am I doing the right thing, so I'm questioning and I'm doubting myself all the time, I'm going to start acting in a way of being that way, overwhelmed, feeling anxious, feeling, negative. So I put, the world has programmed us to think a certain way about all of the situations that we face. And this is no different when it comes to parenthood. After having kids, so many negative thoughts go on inside our minds, go through our minds. So when I became a mum, I know my life, my body, my relationships, my friendships, they all completely changed. Everything changed. And having another human being to take care of on top of that, no wonder us mums get so anxious and overwhelmed and feel lonely and feel like we're on our own. But we're not. We're all in it together. So I've put here, not only that, I've put here, you also have the media telling you what you should be doing, what you should be eating, what you should be, you should be exercising, you should be getting your baby out however many times a day or whatever. You've got that, another avenue of people telling you what you should be doing. So I've put, there's no magic wand. that's going to make everything better. But you can try and change your focus and eradicate the self-doubt and negative thoughts. And how amazing would life be if we could eradicate the self-doubt and the negative thoughts? You know, if you ask yourself that question, life would be really good. So I've put happiness habit number 4 is trying to focus on a better and more positive outcome. Okay, so we all have the same thoughts. Everyone's thoughts are the same. You know, maybe some more than others, but we all have very, very similar thoughts. This is how we are programmed. This is how it works. You're not alone. I've put you are not the only one that's struggling to maybe hold down a family and a job, housework, career, relationships, whatever it may be. Whatever it is that you are doing, we're all doing the same thing and we're all beating ourselves up in the same way. I've put, this is a brilliant quote, worrying about how things might go wrong doesn't help things go right. So how can we focus on a more positive outcome, which is happiness habit number 4. So I've put, there's just a few things that I try and do, and one of them is ditching the negative Nellies in your life. Now, this is a pretty big one. If you hang around with people that are negative, that don't have anything good to say, that aren't necessarily in the best place, you're going to start to feel like that. So you want to try as much as you can to not put yourself in a position of being around people that make you feel like crap, because you're just going to start to feel worse. If you can get around people that are positive and have got positive energy and that make you feel good, even if you're having a bad day, yeah, it's not going to completely turn your day around, but it's certainly not going to make it feel any harder or any worse. So that's one thing that you can do. The second thing, I've put, what you say is what you hear. So what you're saying, how you're talking, how you're communicating, you're actually listening to every single thing that you're saying. I've put, tell yourself things are going to work out and try and speak more positively. It's a difficult one, but it comes back to the formula. It comes back to our thoughts and the way that we're thinking. So just be mindful. If you find that you're, I don't know, bitching about somebody else, or if you find that you're in a place where you're talking negatively, just try and get yourself out of it. Try and get yourself out of it, because you're hearing everything that you're saying. The third one I've put is journaling. So I spoke about journaling before, and journaling for me, it's one of the best things that you can do in my eyes, because it certainly gets things that I've got in my head out of my head and onto paper. And also what it does, over time you start to see a pattern forming. If you're writing stuff down all the time, and it's just a little notebook, whatever it is, and you're just getting your thoughts out, if you're writing that down all the time, you sometimes start to see a pattern. And it might be that certain times of the month you're more negative, or I know for me, if I've been out and I've had a heavy night, the next couple of days I might feel more negative. I might think, oh my God, I can't control all of this. I can't keep on top of this. I can't do all of this because I'm not in a great place. So that would be me saying to myself, don't have too many heavy nights on the booze, you know. So you start to see patterns, and if you can start to see the patterns, then you can start to work with that, because you can say, right, well, if I know that's what puts me in a really bad place and gives me negative thoughts, and that's not where I want to be, then I need to start lessening that, whatever that looks like for you. And then I've put, the last one is focusing on the things that you are good at. So I've put, we all want more success and less stress. Cultivating a positive habit is not only good for you, but it's also teaching your family, it's teaching your kids, it's teaching them all the good stuff. And at the end of the day, they are the most important ones. They're the ones that we want to educate in the right way. We don't want them to feel like they're having to compare themselves to everybody else and they have to follow suit, because that's not how it is. So there's just a few things that you can do to help overcome or help focus more on a positive outcome. Ditching the negative Nellies in your life. Thinking about what you're saying. You know, what you say is what you hear. So tell yourself the good stuff. Journaling, and also focusing on the things that you're good at. So you feel more positive and you're proud of yourself, rather than beating yourself up all of the time. So I hope that's helped you guys. I will be back next week. Have a lovely week, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.